Hello everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the latest movie review from us here at Flick Direct, and for today's movie review, I'm here to talk to you all about Bob Marley One Love. Bob Marley One Love is a biopic about, well, Bob Marley, as the film primarily concentrates on one part of his life, what also goes off, and it does show aspects of, well, his past. This was a movie that admittedly I had no idea was coming out until literally about a month ago, even though I'm a big Bob Marley fan. Knowing that they were doing a Bob Marley biopic, I was really excited to see what they were going to do with this movie because Bob Marley's life and his story is really awesome, given that this is a guy that united people with love, unity, peace through his music. Like, he is a guy that changed the game. One of the, as they would say, one of the goats in music. Kingsley Ben-Adir I thought was really good as Bob Marley, but if I'm being honest with y'all, LaShonah Lynch as Rita Marley stole the entire movie. Even with scenes that she shared with Kingsley Ben-Adir, she stole all the scenes that she had with him. Seriously, LaShonah Lynch is terrific in this film. Every time they showed Bob Marley making music, especially the Exes album, which is one of the greatest records ever. Seriously, if you're into music, if you haven't heard Exes, check it out right now. It's one of the greatest records you'll ever hear. Like, it's so good. When they were concentrating on making that record and showing the process of finding the sound, finding the rights that they needed to make that record the record it is today, that whole stuff was really good. And even how they shot the concert scenes were really well done. But unfortunately, I do have to say, Bob Marley One Love suffers from a lot of issues. One of them being this, and that is the overall structure of this movie in terms of how it's edited together. There are sequences in this movie where, like I said to you guys earlier, while it's a movie that does primarily focus on a specific part of his life, at the same time, it goes off into his past, and the way how this film is edited feels very disjointed. Not that it's confusing per se, but the way how it's edited not only feels very disjointed, but it feels that there's no exact actual structure of how the narrative is flowing around because of it. Some of the pacing as well is really not good. There are parts of this film where it feels like it's not only dashing to the finish line, but then there are other parts where it feels like it just slows down, and this is honestly a bit that really hurts to say, but there are parts of this movie kind of did bore me. But that's leading to my next point, and possibly the biggest issue of this movie is that this movie feels emotionally distant, given how this is a guy that changed the game. He brought music with love, peace, and unity, but it's a movie that feels very emotionally distant, especially given the subject matter of this film. Unfortunately, as a big Bob Marley fan, Bob Marley One Love suffers from not only being very disjointed in terms of its structure, pace that's all over the place, and not only is the film emotionally distant, but just missed that magic. It missed the love. It missed love. It missed an emotional core that I was hoping for, given how this is about Bob Marley. I do think that some Bob Marley fans might get a kick out of this movie, and if you've never heard of Bob Marley, check this movie out, but in all honesty, if you're a massive Bob Marley fan, I couldn't recommend this movie. I hope you enjoyed my review of Bob Marley One Love. If so, please hit that like button, also share, and don't forget the subscribe button and the notification bell for the latest movie review goes live. If you guys want to see our previous 2 movie reviews, please click right there or right there. And of course, until our next movie review goes live, we'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Hit like, smash subscribe, and get notified for when our reviews, interviews, and news go live.